My wife left for a sudden family emergency, but I found emails, hidden accounts, and photos proving it was all a lie. By the time she came home, I had already dismantled her secrets and ensured her betrayal would cost her everything. It was a Friday evening when I watched Cassandra slip into her emerald silk blouse, the one she never wore around me. I stood by the kitchen doorway, an unopened bottle of sparkling water in my hand, observing how she adjusted the delicate fabric against her shoulders and checked her reflection on the microwave's metal panel. She pretended I wasn't there. We had been married for over a decade, shared a 9-year-old daughter named Lily, and occupied a tall brick home in a quiet Massachusetts suburb. But at that moment, I felt more like a tenant waiting for a bus than a husband. She had received a call the previous afternoon, a call she dismissed as some family thing, though the tension around her jaw suggested otherwise. Cassandra was 35, worked as a project coordinator for a regional design firm, and favored crisp lines in both her outfits and her life. I was 39, a corporate attorney negotiating for companies that believed sincerity expired at sunset. I was used to liars, but I never expected to find one hidden behind the eyes of the person who read bedtime stories to our child. Cassandra spoke a name I had never heard before, Addison. Addison, she said, had a cruise ticket that needed to be used urgently. According to her, Addison was some distant cousin on her father's side. Apparently, Addison felt pity for her because her aunt, also news to me, had fallen ill, and the family's travel plans were in disarray. Cassandra said this without meeting my eyes. Instead, she pushed past me, heading upstairs to pack. I whispered to myself, there is no Addison in her extended family. I knew her relatives, I knew the get-togethers, the birthdays, the subtle jokes they shared in front of me. Names like Addison never even hovered in the background of wedding reception conversations or old photo albums. This was fabricated. Lily sat in the living room sketching flowers in a spiral notebook. She sensed the tension and asked where Mommy was going. I said it involved relatives we didn't know well, something about a sudden trip. Lily's brow creased. She didn't argue. She was used to her mother's unexpected commitments. Cassandra frequently claimed urgent professional obligations that whisked her away at odd hours. That evening, Cassandra left in a hired car, suitcase in hand, not even acknowledging my presence. I leaned against the doorframe, listened to the engine fade, and dialed my friend Martin. Martin had once been my client, but after some tough negotiations, we forged a friendship. He ran a small private investigations firm on the side, mostly discreet background checks. Martin was about 52 and had retired early from the police force after too many political games on the job. He was the type who knew how to unravel knots. I laid out what I knew. Martin said he would look into it. He did not promise results but hinted he had ways to verify who this Addison was and what was happening on that ship. I stayed with Lily that night, we watched an old cartoon, ate pasta, and I read her a bedtime story. My mind wandered to Cassandra's so-called cousin. Something in Cassandra's voice suggested Addison was not a new fling. I wondered how long I had been cast as the fool who funded the nice house, the after-school activities, and the elegant dinners, all while something else festered in secret corners. The next morning, while Lily slept, I sorted through Cassandra's files. She tended to store private notes on her laptop, an older model with a password known to me since she often asked me to fix minor tech issues. I discovered an email chain with no subject lines addressed to a certain Addison with a personal domain. The messages contained subtle references to meetups at hotels and short weekend trips I thought were business-related. Cassandra wrote things that crystallized what I suspected. Addison had been her lover for at least a year. I called Martin and told him what I found. He said he'd continue